The first step is to go to an adoption society. I know this is something that a lot of people don't know. There are registered adoption societies in Kenya, and that's the first step. Go to a registered adoption society. The registered adoption society will investigate you and assess you to confirm that you are fit to adopt. And then the adoption society will place you with a child who has been declared free for adoption. This is a child where all the investigations and all the tests have been done and all the assessment has been done to confirm that the child is free for adoption. There's nobody looking for them. There's no parent or biological auntie, uncle, a grandmother who is willing and able to take care of them. So that has to be done. And that's very important. There's a system follow-up on children generally. You know what I mean? By the time they come to, by the time you come after the adoption, there isn't a lot of follow-up. In that our system has not put that in place in Kenya. But if a child is adopted and they go abroad, there's a requirement that you send reports to Kenya. And there are requirements within those other countries for follow-up. Now in Kenya, they do follow-up. The children's department follows up before the adoption is granted. Before any adoption is granted, the director of children's services, through one of his officers, currently it's a he, it could be a she, sends an officer and makes sure that the child is secure in that family, that they are safe, that all the procedures were followed, that the child has been declared free for adoption, that the person adopting or the people adopting are fit parents for the adoption. And then after the adoption is granted, the child then is under the same system as all other children, or all other children in Kenya. So if something happens, it would be the same that would happen to a child in a biological family. The beauty of it is just the chance that a child gets. A child who would have grown up in an institution, in a regimented, way, without their own family, without individual attention, without a mom and a dad, or without a parent, without sisters, brothers, cousins, aunties, grandparents. Just imagine how special family is and how special family is to us. The adoption is very special, is that it gives that child a chance and secures them in that family so that they're secure and they know that they belong. So the best place for a child to grow up is in a family, not an institution. That's a recognized principle. It's a recognized principle in international law. It's a recognized principle even in our own law. So the final thought is to say, let's take the courage, let's step out and adopt, because it gives the child a chance and it gives the child a family, and it's the best thing that could ever happen to a child who would otherwise grow up in an institution. Not that I know of, actually. Yeah, I haven't had, no, imagine, and I've done this for 14 years, since 2004. No, actually, just had happy stories. Adoption is happy law. It's happy law, I remember once a client of mine who, we went to court, and it was the day of the hearing, and the judge asked the adoptive dad to stand up. So when the adoptive dad stood up, he went and stood in the dock where accused people stand. And it was very interesting. The judge said, no, don't stand there. You're not an accused person. And he said, my lord, I'm guilty of loving. I found that so interesting, and I've never forgotten. He said, sentence me to life with this child because I am guilty of loving the child. So adoption is very happy law.